if you consider Hollywood producers and directors having ties to intelligence, like it said in that, um, one strong example for me would be Steven Spielberg, who, I mean, if you look at a lot of his movies, they have to do, um, well, I mean, you have some biographical stuff here, but like the Post, I'm assuming about the Washington Post, which is owned by Jeff Bezos, who has contracts with the CIA, and there's ties between the Washington Post and the CIA. They're kind of like a arm of propaganda for the government. Bridge of Spies, assuming it's about spies. Um, but then you also have other movies. Here in 2001, Artificial Intelligence. All you hear about now is how AI and artificial intelligence are going to take over the world and get rid of all of humanity. So it's weird that, well, maybe it's not weird, but that's from what, 25 years ago. And then you have movies here from the 70s and 80s that he made. Close Encounters of the Third Kind being the biggest. E.T. Movies about, extraterrestrials, aliens, kind of the idea of there being life outside of humans. These movies are 70s, like 50 years old. So that's a long time to be in the, I guess, mainstream. I don't know. I can't think of it. Zeitgeist, I guess, or for it to be a thing that people have seen aliens or UFOs, and it's not that crazy. When now you're seeing all these videos from like David Fravor and the different committees in front of Congress where they're talking about having human, biologics from other worlds and technology and all that. And you have like War of the Worlds, even movies like Jurassic Park, where they're bringing back dinosaurs and stuff. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if they were trying to do that. Like, I've heard they're trying to bring back mammoths by like splicing elephant DNA with mammoth DNA and stuff. So I feel like if there's one example of someone who, a director who likely has these ties to like intelligence and stuff, Steven Spielberg would be a hard or a high contender for me, especially when you look at like this movie, The Age of Disclosure, is a documentary that came out last year. It features 34 U.S. government insiders and revealing an 80-year global cover-up of non-human intelligent life and secret war among major nations to reverse engineer advanced technology of non-human origin. So if there's that many people from the government coming out telling us about this, either it's some sort of distraction to keep us from looking into other things or, worrying about other things, or, I'm a believer of Project Bluebeam, which is basically the idea that they, the government or whatever would fake project that they would fake either like an alien invasion or second coming of Christ or something like that. Like I said, with that Age of Disclosure, here's another Steven Spielberg movie that's coming out soon this year, about disclosure. Upcoming there is about humanity's reaction to undeniable proof of extraterrestrial life following a whistleblower trying to reveal the truth while a meteorologist experiences bizarre phenomena, exploring themes of awe, fear, and control as a global disclosure looms, hinting at crop circles and government conspiracies. So it sounds interesting. But not only that, you've had these other movies that have came out, Hunger Games, which if you look into anything that Klaus Schwab has said, or like the WEF, the World Economic Forum, their kind of goals and agendas that have came out, they've talked about people, being like not eating meat, basically just relegating us to eating bugs. They've said, like, look it up. They've said, you'll own nothing and be happy. They want us to just rent everything, and so they can have complete control. But you have like the Hunger Games, I think is kind of along the lines of what they would want from the WEF or Bilderbergs or other groups like that where they control the resources and kind of just send us out there to go be their entertainment for them and get some sort of fake prize. Um, and then you got like Civil War. There's been several other movies, but I thought one that was really interesting that kind of stood out too was the movie Leave the World Behind. It's a dope movie for anyone who hasn't seen. For anyone who hasn't seen it, seems pretty um, realistic to what you could kind of expect for the apocalypse. But the craziest thing for me was that uh, the Obama's production company, which I didn't know they had a production. Why does a former president have a movie production company? They're trying to control the narrative, control the stories. It seems like. I mean, maybe it's just my opinion, but here it says they executive produced the Netflix apocalyptic thriller Leave the World Behind, with Barack offering significant creative input, including script notes on character, empathy, and realistic disaster elements, drawing from his experience to enhance the film's depth, all based on Rumaan Alam's novel. So, I mean, assuming the president has pretty high clearance, there's definitely higher levels of clearance, and presidents don't know everything, but they're not privy to everything. But I would think that they have a pretty good idea of some of the things that are kind of down the barrel for the future, where things are headed, where the elites and people in government are wanting things to go. So there's all this stuff that's coming out that I would say exposes these things. But I mean, you can go back, like I said, from what I read in Whitney Webb's book. That stuff was going on in the 50s. They were trying to get people in Hollywood to help control the narratives, the ideas that the elites, the globalists have for the future and it's pretty jacked up because these people are so like arrogant and know that they can get away with essentially whatever they want because they have for so long. And there's nothing we can really do to stop it. I don't know. For me, I would say it's definitely interesting when you look at entertainment, and if you pay attention enough and kind of read between the lines, you can kind of see some stuff that it seems like maybe like some stuff's being hinted at and alluded to. So I would say, at the very least, try to stay aware of the things you're watching or reading or whatever, and maybe just do some thinking, do some research, get curious, look down some rabbit holes, and just kind of stay awake.